So I'm going to start adding sound effects, right? I've already added some here at the beginning, right, where we have things like the city fire, and then the ambient city with rain, right, to have it a feel. Now we have a lot of we're going into a lot of exciting things here during this section here, where we start to see the storm. See, I have music right here at this point. You know, we have all kinds of things where we're going to want to actually give voice to these little elements, right, that are flying in. We want to give them a voice, okay? So we can start with something that all these have in common would be wind, right? So under the Joplin, as you can see, the Joplin sound effects here that you have, these are actually several of the effects I used for the documentary, right? So we can use some of these. I picked here Wind 4 that I am going to start to use. As you can see, this is a 5-1 track that we're going to have to convert into stereo. In fact, it acts like a stereo track already. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that real fast. If you remember how to do this, we double click on it to get it into the waveform editor. And then we go down here to convert. And we are simply going to make this stereo, and that's good. We're going to hit OK. And we have that. So we can go back to multi-track, and we have our stereo wind. Once again, we can get rid of this right-clicking and clear time section. And now we can see how this starts to sound. Now, as you can see, I'm putting it a little as the title comes through, right? I think that's going to be a little more dramatic, kind of some foreshadowing. In fact, maybe I'll start as more or less we get that title.
In the bathtub, my hands over my head. They just went completely black. You couldn't see maybe 15 yards in front of you. It's like a big breeze, but debris was flying everywhere. Ceiling was coming in, water, you name it.
And as you can see, just by adding just that sound, it already helps to tell the story a little bit more, right? But now let's start giving voices to these individual things, right? So if we look through here, right, as you can see, we start to have some debris right here come in and go across, right? So we can give that debris some sort of noise, right? So let's go ahead and listen to some of the debris we have. All right, so here are some of the things we like. I actually like this wood. I think I'm going to use this wood. So I'm going to put this in here, right around where it starts, which is somewhere right here. Maybe we need to start a little sooner, because there's some headspace here. We can always zoom in. Now that looks pretty good. Great. So once again, we're going to have to go ahead and turn this into stereo. Okay. And then we can mix this a little more to... Right, that's looking good because we're giving that voice. I'm going to take down the gain a little bit. That's pretty good. And this ends right about here, which I will end right there. And then of course I'm going to have a little fade out.
Just went completely black.
Great. Now I'm going to get into mixing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to automate the pan fader, which is this blue line right here, right? You're not going to be able to hear this in stereo, but you will with your headphones because it comes from the left to the right. I'm actually going to make this start on the far left side and make it end on the right side.
They just went completely black. They just went completely black.
which when you hear this, as you can see, it actually pans along with what the debris is going from the left side to the right side of the screen. This is mixing in stereo, and it's little stereo effects like this that's going to really help to tell your story. Okay, so this is how we do it.